Okay, yes, we are live. Hello, everybody. I am out here on my deck in beautiful Pinehurst, North Carolina. Um, drinking. I've forgiven Budweiser because I was really in the mood today for. I'm celebrating. Made a really nice sale today. Bud Light with lime. Wish they'd pay me. They don't have to put my picture on the can. But I hope you're having a great, safe summer. I want to talk to you today about the one-sided compliment. This has been an ongoing subject with a lot of my mentees in sales. The biggest problem for a lot of salespeople is they don't listen. And they don't listen to the real important things. The ones you get a prospect that says something positive, they either compliment you. Hey, I like your material. I like your web page. I like things that you said, or they share information. Do you acknowledge them or do you speak over them? Okay. By this, I mean, what you want to do, is get them to know, like, and trust you. Okay. How do you do that? You listen to them. You take a pause. Hey, Mr. or Miss, let me get my notes here and share them with you because this is coming up so often. And they never teach this in the sales courses in any of the books. I think I'm the only one who teaches how to react to the one-sided compliment or when the prospect gives you information or shares a personal story with you. Do you acknowledge it or do you just run right back to your stupid presentation and your slides and your keynote and everything else? Okay. People buy emotionally. You have to recognize they're emotional beings. Okay. You can't automate a hug from your mom. You can't automate sales. Well, you can automate sales, but I'll tell you right now, you're going to spend a lot of time and money and frustration. I sell to people one on one. Okay. I talk to them. I show them how to, I listen to them. I ask questions. And I believe in the $1 million rule. People make decisions emotionally. Okay. And then they justify those decisions intellectually. And it's time for a sip here to your health. Oh, a cold beer on a hot summer day. Is there anything better? Oh man, love this. Ah, love it. I love the little lime taste in it. And I think maybe they'll send me a case of beer. Company that made some big mistakes in marketing. That's another video, another time. This is a spontaneous live video. Let me get my notes here for a second. And I just want to share this important sales tip with you guys. This will help you to make so much dang money if you just acknowledge the prospect. Here's some of my notes here. I just wrote them real quick. You know, your Uncle Claude shares all this stuff with you. By the way, if you want my notes, you want a mind map or anything, just you see my phone number there. Send me a text or go to my webpage, claudediamond.com, and I'll send you tons of stuff for free. A one-sided compliment is a term I use in gut sales when a salesperson overlooks the psychological opportunity to generate or take advantage of a bonding moment or a charismatic moment with a prospect. What do I mean by that? Prospect says, I work really hard and my wife works hard and I come home and the kids are sleeping and what do most sales guys do? Oh, they go right back to their presentation. And in the gut system, you want to keep them in that emotional vortex, okay, in that emotional environment. And you say, hey, you know what? You're making my job easy, Mr. Prospect. Thank you for sharing. I had the same problem. I come home and that's why I changed the way I sell. So I have more free time. I have that freedom thing. But I really appreciate you sharing that with me. When you acknowledge people, when you compliment them, or you say, hey, I know what you're talking about. You're creating a bonding moment. Okay. What does every guru at every seminar say? You got to know, like, and trust people. Hey, you got to work at it though. It doesn't happen automatically or through osmosis or anything. You got to work at it and you got to practice it. That's the hard thing. Most people will not take the time and trouble to learn these $1 million sales skills. This kind of stuff can make you unbelievably prosperous. Okay, it can make you darn right wealthy. If you have a good product or service, you know what you're talking about. It's a benefit to people. Okay, and you know how to speak to people and make the connection with people. Okay, I teach my sales guys that you got to personalize it. You got to make it one-on-one. Get them on the phone. Get them on Zoom. You can only text and email so much. I'm not a Luddite. I'm not against AI or automation, but I close people all the time only because I want them to know that I care about them, that I deliver, that I guarantee my services. But I'm a stranger in the beginning, right? Nobody woke up this morning and said, "Hey, let me call up Claude Diamond and get some $1 million sales training." but they did come to me with a problem, and I acknowledged the problem, and I recognized that I had the same problems, and we form a bond. This is charismatic selling. But how do you do that? You have to react and recognize to it. It's based, and you see my notes there, it's based on recognizing when to acknowledge a compliment or to say thank you with emphasis. So many times in role play, I teach by role playing, so a lot of my clients. And in the role plays, I'll go, "Hey, I love, thank you for the phone call. I really enjoyed the information and everything." And they'll just ignore that. I actually get paid to teach people to say thank you. What happens when you say thank you to somebody or you acknowledge them, you recognize them? When you just show the small, this scintilla, there's a word, of respect to another person. Do they remember you? Yes. Do they like you? Yes. How do you create that instant love, that instant where somebody says, "I like that person. That's a good person. That's somebody I could do business with, or somebody I'd like to talk again, or somebody I'd like to have over for the house for a barbecue or something." How do you do that? You got to work at it. You got to, and I talk in other videos about initiating conversations, starting, being the catalyst in a lot of things. So it's common knowledge and persuasion that prospects buy from people they know, like, and trust. You knew that already, but most people have never taken the time to learn how to create or take advantage of these rare moments. Hey, Mr. and Mr. Prospect, gotta thank you for being on time. Mr. and Mrs. Prospect, thank you for sharing that information. I know I went through the exact same thing. I know what you're talking about. When you're acknowledging, recognizing, stroking, nurturing, and empathy, I talk about this with my students, and we role play and practice this. Okay, you get an objection from somebody or a criticism from somebody. What are you going to do? Argue with them? What happens when you argue with somebody? You're getting closer or further apart. Obviously, further apart. Someone might give you some say something. I don't like your webpage. Hey, thank you for sharing that with me. What part didn't you like? Maybe that's something I should change. Hey, thank you for taking the time and trouble to tell me about that. See, some people, you might argue with people. When you argue with people, you're not winning them over. When you're thanking them, okay, and you're acknowledging and listening to them. While doing this, by the way, it's a lot of sales is intuitive. You're going by your gut. That's why I call it guts. Your gut instincts when you speak with people, and while you're qualifying them too. So you get somebody on the phone. I had someone the other day, okay, called me up, and he was talking about knocking on doors and phone rooms and virtual assistants and everything. I said, how long have you been doing that? Oh, 10 months. How much money you're making? Zero. I said, that's insanity. You're doing something, you're doing something wrong. Either the way you're approaching, how many people are you speaking to? Well, not enough, maybe one or two a week. I said, well, first of all, you're not getting enough volume. You need enough warm calls on a daily basis. That's a marketing problem. We can fix that with guts marketing, by the way. I only do warm calls. I only do warm prospects. Cold calling is fine if you got the time and you want to spend a fortune of money and hire a lot of people. I want a simple business that's got low overhead and high profits. And it's a lot of fun, and it leaves me with a lot of free time and lets me go to the bank every day. So it's all about that lost skill of sales. Sales is the $1,000,000 skill, guys, but you got to take the time and trouble to learn it and practice it and hone your skills. Absolutely. So they give you objections. You can turn chicken shit into chicken salad all day long. You get criticisms. Hey, thank you. That was constructive. I appreciate you sharing that. Little beer burp here. We're having a little bud with lime. I'm in a really good mood. We're having a phenomenal summer. I love sales. I love helping people close deals in one phone call and sharing the guts, phenomenal gut sales system. To my mentor, Max, I'd be cleaning a Slurpee machine if it wasn't for him. Um, you know, we go through so much education, so much material, so many seminars. I know people have spent tens of thousands of dollars working on hot coals and motivation seminars. In the end, it's about, can you get another person to know, like, and trust you? Okay. And the one-sided compliment, when they give you some feedback, when they give you a compliment or say something, or they share information, you have to acknowledge and recognize that all the time. And when you do that, you see magic happen. I say to people, hey, when people say, well, I've seen your videos, Claude Diamond. I know what you're, oh, that's great. What was your favorite video? Thank you for sharing that. Why are you so interested in sales? Tell me a little bit about yourself. Okay, you got to be the doctor in the room. Ask questions. Don't give presentations. Do you suffer from the agony of premature presentations? Because that's what your competition does. They give these long, boring presentations. Okay. They don't want to hear about the history of the earth, part 1, 2, and 3. They want to know certain information. They want someone to listen to them, acknowledge them. They want solutions. They want their pain removed. Okay. And when you can do that with people with your product or service, you can make as much money as you want. You got a blank check. Really. I'm nobody special, but I learned how to sell. I had a great teacher. It changed everything. I have degrees in business. I have a doctorate in law. I've gone to all the seminars. I got shelves full of the books. I've done all the guru stuff. The one thing that changed was sales, learning the psychology of persuasion. It's the $1,000,000 skill. So you sometimes I go to people, I'll say, hey, great question. I'm so glad you brought that up. You must have asked that for a reason. Why is that important to you? On a 1 through 10, what score would you give it? Thank you. Appreciate your feedback. I had someone the other day. What did they say? They called me up. It was a sales guy calling me up. We get those calls. Hi, how are you today, Mr. Diamond? And I started to answer because if you can hear, I got a little bit of a head cold here, a little summer. It's allergies or something like that. I think maybe my Bud Light will fix it. But the thing is, I started to answer, and then he went right into his presentation. I said, "Wait a second. You asked me a question. Didn't you want the answer, or is that just the way you greet people with a question? How you doing? How are you today?" You can't just think that that you're going to call up somebody, you're going to send information, and their world is going to stop. Okay. Treat people, human beings are emotional creatures. We know that about them. And they make decisions very quick. I just got off the phone with one of my students. He just made another sale. He recognized the the EQ, we call it, the emotional quotient in the prospect. He asked questions. He got the guy, it was kind of a silent Sam, got him talking and talking. And then he said the magic words in G.U.T.S. I have made a decision. Let's fix this problem. And it's okay to say no. Excuse me. So I wanted to share this with you. I didn't want to go on a long diatribe today, but I wanted to do this spontaneously while I had the energy. Don't overlook the one-sided compliment. Recognize, acknowledge people, thank them, compliment them. We call that stroking. And sometimes when you make it emotional, when you create a memory or something like that, or your bonding moment, we call that nurturing. And be empathetic. What are they thinking or feeling? Can you anticipate what they are? Okay. So much of this business is intuitive. And how do you get to be that great mind reader? You practice. You learn a system like G.U.T.S. In fact, if you guys want a free book or something like that, send me a text. I'll send you a free copy of my book, or you can go to Amazon and buy it. I like that too, but I'll send it to you for free. I don't care. I just want to see you guys have fun in sales. Sales can be fun. Believe it or not, it can be fun on the way to the bank. This is Claude Diamond. Nobody deserves success more than you, good people. I know how hard you work. I know you sell good products. You do business honestly and ethically, not like some of the shit you see on the news and stuff like that. I know you're good people and you work hard, but you got to hone your skills so that you go to the bank more often because, as I always say, nobody deserves success more than you. My name is Claude Diamond, ClaudeDiamond.com, or just send me a text. Number's right down there somewhere. And have a great, safe summer. Okay. Bye-bye.